Oh, what a treat. Look who woke up from the nap. Tuk-tuks. There's my tuk-tuks. Um, so, since he's awake and the camera's on him, I'm going to, tell his story. So, Zoe, who I ended up getting after the white cat, went off with Evelyn to his new life. The white cat was named Oscar. A couple of days later, my daughter, who was 2, like I said, had gone around, like, kitty, kitty, kitty. I'm trying to hand her this, like, white statue of a cat. Oh, here he is. I didn't even realize she'd notice he was gone, but, So, I'm thinking about it, and one day we're driving up the street, and I see a sign, and it says, free kitten. And I said, free kitten. That means it's just one kitten just sitting there. So I pull into this place, and she had this, fluffy female calico. And it had, like, a little black spot right under its nose that looked favorable to Hitler. So, I'm Jewish, but, I don't practice the religion, but that's what the background is. I actually call myself agnostic, but, so anyway, with the little Hitler mustache, I was like, well, she's not the prettiest cat, but, I asked her why she was getting rid of it, and she said because, with it being so fluffy, she was allergic to it. But when I said, well, I'll take it, it's not the prettiest cat, but I'll take it, she goes, you don't think she's pretty? And I'll tell you, that cat ended up to be the most beautiful cat I've ever laid eyes on. I picture that cat, like, up in heaven just waiting to see me again, and probably driving them all nuts, going, where is she? Oh, God. There's stories me and my daughter could tell you about Zoe that, she was just like every conversation that we had. She wasn't like just, some regular cat that was just like the cat or whatever, but she had to be inserted into the conversation. Like, if Rachel and I were, like, whatever room Rachel and I were in whatever discussion, Zoe would come and she'd sit right, like, in between us, just like a human being, and, be in the conversation. There was times when she seemed, like, disappointed if we had done something wrong. Like, I could just picture her with her hands on her hips, she was a good cat. I loved that cat. And, so about the same time my daughter was heading off to college, I was thinking, well, at least I'll have Zoe, but, she had developed this, like, a little pink bubble thing on, her little forehead. And, like a piece of gum or something, And every once in a while you could tell it would grow a little bit. It didn't seem to be giving her any pain or anything. But I was real concerned with it, So she was never a big fan of vets or anything, so I used to work this equine event, and I had become kind of friends with a horse veterinarian from New Hampshire. And what I liked about, I would overhear people's conversations. Being the bartender, you hear things. And he was talking to someone that had a horse that was very old. And she was saying how she'd taken the horse to a vet, and that the vet had said, well, it's had a good long life. You may as well put it down anyway. And this doctor, this veterinarian, said to her, oh, no. That's your pet. That's your pet. And there's always, possible other ways to try to save, and gave her his card and everything. And And I just thought that was really nice because the girl was so upset that the other horse vet had said, to just put it down. Didn't, like, really understand the fact that for 20 years, she'd had this horse and she loved it. So I drove all the way to New Hampshire with Zoe to get the surgery that he said he would do. Zoe, not being a big fan of vets, wasn't the best patient, I guess. So they had to, like, give her the shot, to whatever, to put her out for the operation through the bars of the cage and everything. And then, when I went and I picked her up, he said, I think we removed all of it, but one little piece slid down, but I didn't want to dig around in there and try to get it. So he didn't say if it was cancer or not or anything, He wasn't sure. He was going to send it out to see what it was, whatever. But, so on the way back from New Hampshire, there's a place, it's in Lowell, like the I-95 connector or something, and it's a very busy part of the highway, and it was stop and go traffic, and I was at a complete stop, and all of a sudden, bam, someone wheeled into my car. They must have been doing a really good speed because my head hit the steering wheel, my nose was bleeding. My first instinct was to, like, look in my back seat to see if Zoe was okay, because she was in this, cardboard carrier they'd put her in. I was scared to look in the box. I mean, my entire trunk was just smashed up into the back seat. And I was at a full stop. And when the ambulance came, they refused to take my cat with me. And what am I going to do? Leave my cat that just had surgery, And I had to say, no, then I can't go. You can't take my cat. I mean, there was nobody I could call. I was, 2 hours from home. So, the tow truck driver that came and got the car brought me and my cat to a McDonald's. Oh, I lost my model, so I'm just going to finish the story here. Brought me and my cat to a McDonald's, and I sat outside with her and waited for my daughter and her father. We weren't together, he just did it as a favor to come get us. But within a month of that happening, whatever it was that slid down into Zoe's nose turned completely black. Her face, just half of her face was just like The Fly, Jeff Goldblum in The Fly, the movie. It was so heartbreaking, and she was still so full of energy. It was like she didn't know she was sick, and if it wasn't for but to look in a mirror, she would never know, And then I decided one day, because I guess she would itch it, and they're just, oh my God, it killed me. But I had to end up putting her down, and that was a hard thing for me, because it was, shortly after my daughter had gone off to college, too. So then Tucker, who just disappeared, is when he came into the picture. I'll finish that story. Peace, love, and tacos. Have a great night.